at the base camp of the Purog Kangri Glacier, and also we have invited the person in charge for this investigation. And also, he is the deputy head of the researcher of the Institute of the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau. So actually, he has just came back from the Purog Kangri Glacier, and he has done a lot of work in retrieving the ice cores. So for the Purog Kangri Glacier, it has a very large size. It's over about like 400 square kilometers, and right now actually we are at the bottom of the glacier. Many people may not be familiar about the ice core or the ice sheet, so you are an expert. Can you tell us more about this? So we have a lot of questions from the netizens. They're asking about the ice cores. For example, what are some of the elements that we can collect from the ice core? Actually, we can get a lot from the ice core. For example, we can collect the dust and also some of the atmospheric elements. So by getting all of this information, actually we could learn more about the past information, and also we can analyze the situation of the greenhouse gases and to see its impact on the global warming. And also we can see that some of the area has been melting in the glacier, and this also have an impact on the global warming. So this is our transportation car, and also we have some experts gathering in this base camp. So in this morning about like 8 or 9 a.m., we have arrived at the number 10 glacier, and also this is the footage we obtained. So now we are seeing the number 8 glacier. Yes, this is the one on the right hand side, and this is quite splendid for the number 8 glacier. So in the past few days, we are actually using the helicopter to get some of the footages. And also we will use some of the drones to capture some of the footages in the glacier. So from the aerial view, we could see it is quite magnificent for the Purog Kangri Glacier. So actually, for the ice cap, it's quite different from the ice sheet, because for the ice sheet, it has many glaciers. So this is the base camp, which is very close to the number 10 glacier, about 2 or 3 kilometers away from the number 10 glacier. And also, it is quite thick for the ice sheet. How do you feel? Is it very cold in the evening? Right now it is in the transition time for the monsoon, so at this point it is easier for us to do our job. So we actually take a rest in the yellow camp. So right now we are at the number 10 glacier, and also the altitude is about 6,100 meters. So this is the place where we drill the deep ice core. So start from the evening, we already started our drop for the drilling, and the depth of the drilling is about 6 meters. We have faced a lot of challenges because of the global warming. The temperature has risen. So when we are drilling to 6 meters deep, and also we are seeing for some of the ice has been melting, and these are some of the challenges for us. Now we could see there are many tents here. For the red one, this is the accommodation places for our scientists. And also for the yellow one, so that is the base camp for us to drill the deep ice core. Now we are waiting for the helicopter to get some footages, and also we also have some leaders from the CAS joining us, and also we have some US scientists to join us to learn more about the drilling process. So now I would like to invite Mr. Xu, who is in charge of this expedition to give us some introduction about our mission. Can you tell us more about the progress? So actually, last night, the progress is not very good because we are seeing a lot of melting of the ice sheets. And also, we are not able to drill very deep into the ice plate. So right now, we have to do some preparation work, for example, to remove some of the ice sheets so as to drill deep. So after we get down into 10 or 20 meters deep, and then it will be easier for us to retrieve the ice core. So we may use some of the coring instruments to do the work. But in this area, I would say it is quite thick. So it is very difficult for us to do the coring work. But this is the most challenging part for us to retrieve the ice core. So let's take a look inside of the base camp. Now you could see we have a very thick snow covered by the tent, and also we can feel the very strong scale of the wind. Now you could see for all of these tents, they are all covered by snow. So this is the mechanical drilling machine. So this is the instrument that we are using to retrieve the ice core. Well, I could feel right now the condition is much better than before. And also you could see we can heat up the waters inside of the tent. How long have you been staying here? We have been staying here for about 3 days. So basically we retrieve the ice core in the evening, and we will take a break in daytime. So how long it takes for you to collect the ice core from yesterday? We start from 9 a.m. and we stop just now. So about like 12 hours. And I can feel that it is very high altitude, but for the experts, they will feel it's okay. Now from the camera, actually this is some of the footages that we have been recorded in the morning, and they're actually checking the coring site. So we have the CAS academician, and who is also the leader for the Institute of the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau. We have like 2 academicians leading the team, and also they are receiving a lot of awards for the Qinghai-Xizang scientific investigation mission. And actually back in like 2000, and also we are dipping into 154 meters, and also we have another team, they are drawing into like 180 meters to retrieve the ice cores. But yesterday, when we are checking the progress, because we are at the number 10 glacier, we are trying our best to drill deep into about 350 to 400 meters deep. So, but I think it is a very amazing achievement if we can collect the ice core, and we are still trying our best to drill deeper. And also for these 2 academicians, well, they're actually like over 70 years old, but still I can feel they're full of energy, and we would like to show our respect to these 2 scientists. For these 2 scientists and academicians, altogether they're over 140 years old. Well, actually it is a very difficult task for us to retrieve the ice core in number 10 glacier, because in this area, from time to time, we will suffer from adverse weather condition, and also we are in the high altitude places. So they have to do their job in the evening, and they will take a break in daytime. So now you could see we are collecting some of the ice core from the surface. And also, as I have just mentioned, that for the Purog Kangri Glacier, for some area, they have been some like melting. It is very difficult for us to collect the ice core. In the past 12 hours, we only able to dip like 6 meters, so the efficiency is not very high. So from the footage, you are seeing that some of the footages from last night. So our target is to dip about like 60 to 70 meters, but in the end we only achieve like 6 meters of dip. But what is the reason? Because right now, affected by the global warming, and some of the ice sheets have been melting, it is difficult for us to use the coring machine to do it. So that's why we have a very low efficiency for the coring process. So this is a mechanical coring machine. So many netizens, they're not familiar with ice core. Can you tell us more about the knowledge of the ice core? Well, actually, ice core is very important for our scientific research because millions of years of snow accumulate on top of each other, compressing into ice under its own weight. So we have different layers with different textures and chemical makeup. If we analyze some of the elements inside of the ice core, and then we are able to know the situation in the ancient times. But it is very hard to say how many years can we date it back, because right now we have like limited technology to do it. And also we need to analyze some of the indicators. So for the ice core, we are only providing the evidence for us to do the investigation, and for different disciplines, they will collect the information they need for further research. So what are some of the elements inside of the ice core? Well, we have like 3 major types of information in the ice core. For the ice itself is very precious for us, and this will help us to analyze the climate change in the world. And also we mentioned about the dust and also some of the bubbles and the pollutants that have been discharged from the human activities. And also we may get some of the information, for example, the atmospheric information. And also we are able to collect some of the air bubbles that have been trapped inside of the ice core. For example, for the atmospheric information has been changing since the industrialization. As we have just mentioned that for the ice core, it has been retrieved from different areas. For example, we can retrieve it from the Purog Kangri Glacier, and also we are able to retrieve some of the ice core from the Arctica and the Antarctica. And many countries have been doing this, especially in the low and mid latitude areas. Some people are focusing on retrieving the ice cores from the glaciers here, because right now for some of the glaciers have been melting, and in the future maybe we are not able to retrieve the same level of the ice core as now. So let's take a full picture of what it looks like for the Purog Kangri Glacier. So this is some of the footage that we have collected from the helicopter. So actually for the Purog Kangri Glacier, it is quite strange compared to the other ice sheets, because in this area you could see there were different like mountains. And also you are seeing that the Purog Kangri Glacier, they also have like different extended glacier tongues. It is quite unique for its scene. So if you're just joining our live coverage, right now we are showing the Purog Kangri Glacier. So for this area, it is actually located in the core area of the Changtang Nature Reserve, and 90 kilometers away from the Shuanghu County. And actually right now, the size of the glacier has been shrinking from the 420 square kilometers down to 389 square kilometers by 2021. And actually for the glacier number 8, it is also very splendid. And also we are seeing a lot of the rivers by the glacier because it is facing south, and this is also the place where different types of the monsoon intertwine with each other. And this is also one of the areas that we will do the research. And also another mission for us is to analyze the change of the phenomenon of the water tower of the Asia. But all in all, the major target is to safeguard the water tower of Asia, that is the 1 glacier, 2 lakes, and the 3 river sources. As we just mentioned that for the Purog Kangri Glacier, it is also the key area that collected the river sources for 3 major rivers. And also we realized and observed that there are a lot of the receding of the glacier. So I think this is a very important scientific investigation for us to protect the glacier and also the ice sheet. And also now you're seeing different layers of the ice sheet. And it just feels like the tree rings, and also you can analyze all of these ice layers, which reflects the history. And also this time we are working with the Xizang television station to collect some of these footages. So now you are seeing the glacier number 8. And also because of the melting, we are seeing some of the lakes surrounding by the glacier. It is quite astonishing for us to see some of these footages. So how many teams we have for this investigation? We have some teams coming from the CAS, and also we have some of the teams from the Northwest Institute of the CAS, and also some universities also taken part into this scientific investigation. And also we have some people joining us overseas. If you're not familiar with the glacier, when you're seeing all of these videos, maybe you get to know more about the glaciers and also the coring situation. So right now we are at the coring site, and also we want to check another base camp. That is the 2 tents, the yellow one and the blue one. So for this area, actually this is the base camp for our scientists. You can see this is very eco-friendly. So people may be curious why we are putting a lot of the bottled water here. Well, actually in this place we have very strong scale of the wind, because last night we have very strong winds and many people are not able to fall asleep. Just like Mr. Shi, he didn't sleep last night because in this place we have very high altitude and also we have a very strong wind. So from here you can actually see the number 8 glacier, and also in the blue tent we have the scientists who are joining this investigation to have meetings in this tent. So how many years you have been working for this mission? So I started my job from 1997. So I spent most of my life dedicated to the scientific research. So right now you could see we have this meeting for the expedition mission for the Qinghai-Xizang scientific investigation. Now you could see for the foreign experts, they're actually briefing the local team about the current progress. So basically, he is like extending some of his appreciation for this mission. And also summarizing some of the work we have done in the past few days, and especially showing gratitude to the team members who are joining the investigation. So this is the expert from the CAS. Also, first of all, like he welcomes the foreign experts joining the scientific investigation. So for this kind of cooperation, we have done a lot in the past few years. Because you could see that from the title, you could see it is a 40-year collaboration for ice core research. So in the past 4 decades, for the Chinese scientists and the foreign scientists, they have been working together and discuss their progress and some of the challenges about the scientific investigation. Actually, I also do a lot of like coverage about the Qinghai-Xizang scientific investigation. We have go through like different like plateaus and also different glaciers. So why we are doing all of this work? Just as the foreign scientists said that we gather here today just for the same goal. So for the global well-beings and for the home for everyone in the world. It feels like that everyone is doing a very tough job here. And for example, in 2002 and 2003, and the mountain Junama, we also do a lot of scientific investigation. This is what we call the peak mission, and this is also shows the contribution made by the Chinese as well as the foreign scientists for their contribution. So now I would like to show you another footage, especially for the coring situation in the number 8 glacier. Good morning. So right now we are in the Nachi County. So we are at the Purog Kangri Glacier, the number 8 glacier, and it is quite stunning for us. And you could see we have different shapes and also different landforms in the number 8 glacier. So we have Professor joining us to tell us more about the situation in the number 8 glacier. I want to know that there's a lot of glacier in the Qinghai-Xizang area. So what is the specialty for the Purog Kangri Glacier? So actually in the Tibetan Plateau, we have different types of the glacier. We just mentioned that we have the glacier and also we have the ice caps. So all of these are different like landforms for the plateau, and in different areas the scenery will be different. And today we are at the Purog Kangri Glacier, and this is the largest one in the low and mid latitude areas. So for the Purog Kangri Glacier, it is quite unique as compared to the other ice sheets. And we can see that for this glacier, we have a flat top, and also it is connected by different glaciers. And also we have many like glacier tongues extended to different places. It is quite independent compared to the other glacier. And also we are seeing the ice cap for the Purog Kangri Glacier, which makes it quite different from the Tibetan Plateau. And from this side, we can see we have some of the basin areas. Why is that? Well, actually, if you take a closer look at the Purog Kangri Glacier, you are seeing that we have some of the rivers that has been surrounding by the glacier. Well, as we just said, therefore, the glacier is very large in the size, even though it is quite flat, but still we have some slopes. And also on the bottom part, we are seeing a lot of the melting happening. And that's why we are seeing some of the rivers and the waters flow down into the basin area of the glacier. And for some of the glacier, they're actually gathering different like streams. And on top of the glacier, we are seeing, because of the temperature, some of the areas have been melted, and this will go into the river. So inside of the river, actually, the temperature is higher than the ice sheet covered by the glacier. So that depends on the melting condition of the glacier to see whether to see the size of the basin area of the glacier. So these are some of the riverines on top of the ice. So for the glacier, it feels that it is quite calm, but we still know that it is quite complicated inside of the structure. As we just mentioned that we have some of the riverines, but if we go inside of the glacier, we still have different types of the rivers. So for some of the rivers, they're actually going across the glacier. Because we just mentioned that for some of the glacier, because of the melting and the receding of the glacier, and then this will also cause some of the crevasses. So for some of these crevasses, also you are seeing some of the rivers, and also you are seeing some of the water coming in and out from the crevasses of the glacier. So for some of the rivers, they're actually above the glacier, and also some of them, they are inside of the glaciers. And this is quite complicated for the hydrologic process. And also this will have a lot of impact on the movement and also the situation for the glacier movement. If we look at the pattern of the glacier, you could see different colors. Why is that? So with your naked eye, you could see for some of the glaciers, you are seeing like different layers, especially in the glacier areas or the ice cap areas. You can feel that this is quite different. And also for the water flow, it's also different. And also we have some of the valleys movements, and this will also change the landform from the glacier. For some areas, they are covered by snow. As I just mentioned that for each year, we have snow falls down, and also the snow never melts. So you get 1 year of the snow on top of the next year, and then it compresses, so everything that fell out of the atmosphere, dust, salt from the ocean, is preserved in the ice core. And also, if we are seeing some of dust covered by the ice, and then the color will change, or for some time it will get even darker. And also, if the melting situation is getting more serious, and some areas will be melted, and then the color will be faded. So all in all, I would say this is because of the change of the snow accumulation, and then you will see the different layers of the ice. So you also asked the question why we see different layers of the glacier and also the ice cap. I would say for the movement here, it is quite different from the glacier they have located in the mountains, because it will not be affected by other natural disasters. If you go to the mountainous areas, and this is quite different because the landform there is not that flat, and this will cause different layers, and this will not be very intact. So that's why we say we have to drill the ice cores, and then we can collect the information from the ice cores to know more about the situation in the past. So we try to learn the history, and then we predict the future. I also want to know that in the Purog Kangri Glacier, we all know there are some changes in recent years. Can you tell us more about these changes? So first of all, we just mentioned about the river lanes. This can be observed from our naked eyes. So right now we are seeing many rivers here. This is also because of the melting. For example, for the number 8 glacier, for one side it is facing south. Because of the high temperature, this melting is more serious. And also we are seeing some of the differentiated melting. And this will cause different layers in the number 8 glacier. And also we are seeing these different the towering ice pyramids. All of these can be attributed to the glacier ablation. The same situation will happen in the Purog Kangri Glacier. So for the glacier, actually it has been shrinking its size from over 400 square kilometers to over 380 square kilometers by the end of 2021. In the past 5 decades, in the Purog Kangri Glacier, I would say all in all, the shrinking is about 10% reduction. In 2000, the year of 2000, so the size of the ice sheet is about 420 square kilometers. And in 2021, this area has been shrunk by 10%, about 389 square kilometers. So also we are feeling this trend of accelerating melting after 2020. This is also being impacted by the global warming. So I would say one of the reasons is because of the nature of the glacier. If you look at the edge of the glacier, you can see some of the changes. Before 2000, I would say each year the ice area will be reduced by about 20 to 30 centimeters per year. But after 2020, the area has been shrinking by 30 to 40 centimeters per year. So it is showing a accelerating trend, and this will give a lot of impact for the future. So we will continue our work for the scientific expedition. Please stay tuned with us.